Hello, fellow gamers. Have you ever just went onto the internet to perhaps look up the title of a game you vaguely remember being popular, only to search top 10 insert category here games of all time, to then find a literal dumpster fire of a list? No? No one? Okay, well, I recently wanted a refresher on some of the games coming up in 2022, so I do remember that I do have a reason to stay alive, and that jumping off a cliff is not a good investment of my time. So I looked up biggest games of 2022, and the horrors I found sparked the idea of making the video you're just now watching. Now, when I say that all lists on the internet are dumpster fires, I'm not saying that they're all wrong and their picks are terrible. What I'm saying is that their picks range from totally acceptable to really out of place. To demonstrate, I've brought up the article that made me make this video in the first place. This list was posted on charlieintel.com, and it is called Biggest AAA Video Games Coming in 2022, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Switch, PC, Stadia, and Steam. Now, before we get into the list itself, we already have two problems to start off with. The first one being that they mention Stadia, as if anyone still plays on that fucking system. I'm pretty sure that those that still have a Stadia haven't touched the damn system in like 4 months, or they already have a different means of playing video games like another console or perhaps even PC. So kind of weird of them to mention that. Secondly, why would they mention Steam and PC as if they're two different things? Steam is a part of PC gaming at the very least. Like, you don't have to have Steam to play games on a PC, you can still use other services. But then why won't they mention other services? Like, why won't they mention the Epic Game Store or like itch.io and other such services? Why just Steam? I get the Steam is like the biggest one, but I mean, don't get specific just yet, okay? Steam is part of PC, so just say PC and leave the specifics for later, please. Now, as we scroll down on this sort of article, we get to read, or as I did, skip the introductory text that's supposed to, I guess, prepare me for about, what's to come, or just waste my time. I get that some text might be necessary sometimes for certain lists or certain things, but it's a very straightforward list you're making. You're talking about the biggest 2022 games to come. I don't need no lube text, just give me the fucking list, please. Now, when that's finally over, we get to the first pick for this list, and it's honestly a good one, I would say, because it is God of War Ragnarok, which is a pretty obvious fit. The first game got Game of the Year, and anyone that took part in the journey between Kratos and Atreus got really captivated by those two characters, and me included. I can't wait to see where the hell it goes next. Although I should preface, I never played the game, I watched a Let's Play, but I still got the story part, which is, fair enough. And the list continues to be pretty damn good after this too, because the next game on the list happens to be Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. And I should preface here again, never played this game either, didn't watch a Let's Play either, saw a little bit of gameplay here and there. But I've heard on the internet and on Twitter and all these places that it's apparently a very good game. I got a port to PC, so I assume that it must be good, because why would you otherwise spend the time to port the game to PC? But also just in general, I've heard on a lot of the YouTube channels that I watch that talk about gaming and cover events and such, all of them mention Horizon Forbidden West being one of the highlights. The list then includes the following game, which is Elden Ring, and I am well aware that the Souls series of games does not appeal to everyone. God knows. It does not appeal to everyone. But the Souls community is very loud. Like, very, very loud. So whenever FromSoft actually releases a game or announces a new game, the hype is real and it spreads like a plague. Which I'm sure you all know what that's like. Plagues. Lord knows I am way too familiar. Anyway, it's still a good pick. Still a good pick. The fourth game on the list is pretty good too because it's a Pokemon game. Do I need to explain why Pokemon is a good pick? I mean, I'm not even into the gameplay of Pokemon. I haven't finished a Pokemon game yet. However, I'm still excited for it because it's Pokemon. I still buy the merch. I still love my Pikachu plushie that I got. Now you might say, Sigurd of Katarina, you're 4 games into this list and you haven't even started bullying the damn thing yet. Are you a filthy liar? And to that I say, no, I watch regularly. I mean, I'm not lying. The game takes a hard turn after the list takes a hard turn after this. With the next pick, which is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction. I'm sorry, but what? Who in the right mind is on the edge of their seat, waiting for Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction? Who? Like, I get that the Tom Clancy games are somewhat popular, and Six Siege is like one of the biggest casual games that I know of. But this doesn't really follow that formula either. It's apparently sort of its own thing. So I get that it can have some hype. But is it one of the biggest games coming in 2022? One of the biggest AAA games coming in 2022? I doubt it. I really do doubt it. But then again, maybe I'm just a little bit biased. I don't really like first-person shooters too much. I usually want there to be a little bit of spice to the things, as in I want there to be a purpose behind the shooting and all that. Or just wacky concepts like Far Cry 5, where you shoot lunatic cultists. That's pretty fun. But let's just skip ahead. Maybe things will get better, and I'll just ignore the fact that Tom Clancy's fucking Extraction game is on here, and I'll just move on, okay? What's next on the menu happens to be Dying Light 2. And I mean, I will admit, I didn't really care about Dying Light 1 because I never played it, and I'm still suffering from extreme burnout on zombie games because of a game I played recently called Dead Island Definitive Edition. The only thing definite about that game is how I'm definitely not playing it again. But yeah, I don't know. I've heard that people are excited for Dying Light 2, and the first game was very successful, so could be a good pick. I'll just ignore it and say, you know what, 5 out of 10, perfectly okay. I'll just go ahead and move on to the next game on the list, which will surely just brighten up my mood a bit. You know, probably be a great pick for this list. And the next game happens to be Gran Turismo. Did I read that wrong? Gran Turismo 7 is one of the most anticipated, biggest AAA games coming in 2022? Are you telling me that a racing game that barely changes from one game to the other, that you have to actually squint at to see the new features and the differences, that's one of the most anticipated and biggest games of 2022? I have a hard time believing that. And I'm sorry for coming across as harsh to the Gran Turismo community. If you like racing games, that's alright. I like them too. I'm a big fan of Mario Kart, which is an entirely different kind of racing game. But racing games do have their appeal, and I like them a lot. but you gotta realize this is not one of the most anticipated games in the entire gaming community, like percentage-wise. I'm gonna go out on a whim here and say that it's a very small amount of people that are very excited about this game. And maybe I just don't know how big the community is because I'm not part of it. But the thing is, even when Jurassic World Evolution 2 was announced, I was really excited for that game, which turned out to be the wrong opinion because I kind of hate that game. Fuck that game. I prefer the first one so many times above the second one. But in any case, I recognized that it was just me that was excited for that. Or like, I felt a lot of hype, but I knew that not the entire gaming community or like a big percentage of the gaming community was going to be excited for that. Because it was very much just a game for me and a select a select group of people that were going to be very excited for that release. So you gotta at least see that, probably not one of the biggest games of 2022. Probably not. Maybe I'm gonna be wrong. Maybe it'll win the game of the year. I don't know. I can't tell the future. Point being, I don't really feel like it belongs here. It feels like one of those filler games that they usually put on these lists to either make it longer because the list is not long enough, or it's because they want to appeal to more people and please more people that are reading the article. So yeah, that's probably why it's here. But the list at this point has 4 more games to go over, and I kind of want to go over them shortly because, I've already rambled for quite some time now. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through it all quickly so I can get to the end of the video where I can probably make you or persuade you to not threaten me in the comments. And I would say not click the dislike button, but then again, YouTube removed that, so I'm fine, I guess. Now, the first of the 4 last games happens to be Breath of the Wild 2, the sequel to Breath of the Wild. And it's a good pick, honestly, at like face value, because yeah, Breath of the Wild, the first one, was amazing. I don't know if it won Game of the Year or not, but it should have. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I am so stoked for the second game, but the thing is, it's very unlikely that it'll actually release in 2022. If you look at the first game, the announcement was in 2013. I'm Swedish, so I can't words all the time. But it actually released in 2017. So that's like 4 years. 4 years between announcement and release. And it got delayed upon delay upon delay. Like, that was because if you watched the sort of documentaries that they put out for the game, you would know that it's because Nintendo, or like the crew working at the game, they kept wanting to add these new things and perfect the experience and give themselves time to play the game and get the feel of it, and then change things and put in new things and remove things, and you get it right. And if they're even remotely taking the same sort of strategy for making the second game, which they should obviously, because they want to make a good game, they don't want to disappoint the fans at this point, then it's probably not going to release in 2022. I highly doubt it. I think it's going to be more or less 2023, if we're lucky, maybe even 2024. I don't know. But I feel like the list should have at the very least mentioned that in the sort of subtext that they have for every pick, which they didn't for this one. But moving on from Breath of the Wild 2 and that sort of mess, we have a very baffling and almost so shocking that I swear to God I felt like I was hit by lightning. Because, it's shocking. It's, get this, a Call of Duty game that hasn't even been announced yet. They just label it as a Call of Duty 2022, but go on to say it's the game that's very likely to come out in 2022. What a fantastic idea, guys. Let's just put fucking Super Mario Extreme Ice Skating on there, because Super Mario doing a triple spin just really encapsulates the fucking vibe of 2022, doesn't it? Aside from it not even being announced yet, it actually kind of makes sense. I mean, come on, it's Call of Duty. Is this always gonna sell well? It always is one of the biggest shooter games when it comes out that year, because it's Call of Duty. No matter if it's trash or not, people will buy Call of Duty to play it. It's like FIFA. People will still buy that game, no matter how trash the changes actually are. As for the second to last game goes, I have a question for all of you watching. Have you ever played all the famous Arkham games? And thought to yourself, man, I really do like kicking bad guys and using all these weird tech gadgets and beating up Batman villains and having a good time, but you know what? It could really use less Batman. Well, boy do I have some news for you, because in the game called Gotham Knights, I think, was that? Yeah, Gotham Knights. The story is that Batman has stopped breathing, and his, co-workers, I guess you could say, have to step in and do the job for him to protect Gotham. Which sounds like an interesting comic book, I guess, which is probably borrowed from. But it's supposed to be a Batman game. It's why I played them in the first place, because I want to play as Batman. I don't want to, sure, playing certain sections as Catwoman or whatever, that was fun, but I came for Batman. And now all I got is Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, and the one guy that I don't know the name of because I don't read the comics. And now, finally, at the end of this miserable roller coaster of a video, I can talk about the last game, which is Hogwarts Legacy, a PlayStation 5 exclusive that is based on the Harry Potter books and movies, I guess. Maybe either or, I do not know. And personally, I'm pretty excited to see where the hell that game goes. I've only seen it only has a cinematic trailer, I'm pretty sure. So I would like to see some gameplay, see how it's going to be. But I can see some people being really excited about it, because it's Harry Potter. But then again, I know from experience that some people aren't too excited about Harry Potter, and just don't like the movies or the books. So can't really say that I think everyone is super excited about it, but I can see some hype getting grown from this. But, I say that's probably not anticipated, but maybe I'm wrong, which is the main takeaway from this video. I have just ranted about an entire stupid video game list on the internet for I don't know how many minutes, but maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe Gran Turismo 7 is going to be one of the biggest games in 2022. Maybe everybody wants less Batman from the Batman games. And maybe Tom Clancy just really needs a new game to be popular again. I don't know. I do not know. I'm probably just wrong. I'm probably just looking at a list and seeing the games that I like, and then all the others seem like stupid choices because I don't care about them. And that's really it. It's just a dumb video that I made because I wanted to have a good time, and it shouldn't be taken too seriously because honestly, it's just a dumb video. I'm dumb. I just, in general, love talking about games and ranting about them. And I hope you all enjoyed watching this mess of a video as much as I enjoyed making it. Now, before you go, and everybody else goes, and I end off the video and all these things, I want to quickly apologize to Mr. Andrew Heighton that made the list in the first place. I don't know what your job is like, and I really have no clue if your work is tough or not, but I want to apologize for if I, for some reason, made you feel bad. Because honestly, I had a really good time reading the list just for how janky I felt that it was when I read it. And if that's not enough, just know that I work as a substitute teacher, so I'm probably suffering as we speak. And secondly, I want to apologize to the Gran Turismo community. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. It was not my intent. You know, if you really are excited for the next game, then I hope you're excited for 2022 and what's to come. Now that the apologies are out of the way, I can finally get to the last thing that I want to talk about, which is the fact that I regularly stream on Twitch. I know that several people have already clicked off the video because they don't want to know what else I do on the free time. But in case you want more, I stream regularly from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Monday to Friday every week, unless something comes up. Although I should preface, it's 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Swedish time. There will be a link down in the description for my Twitch, so you can check it out if you want to. Usually have a pretty good time. I'll feature 2 clips as we speak from some of the later streams I've been doing. I've been streaming a lot of Skyrim. It's been pretty fun. Here's the clips. Games where you always find something new to do or new way to play the game, or it's also just so open, like everyone can find something to enjoy about it. What the fuck just happened? What the hell? What? Oh, okay. It looked like the goat had severe explosive diarrhea. Quite literally just flew past the screen. Turns out no, it's the flame atronach. Not? Sir, do you want or do you not want to kill me? You can hold out the knife whilst you're making your decision. You can then unsheath it when you're done. I'm just saying, there's no need to panic. I'll wait until you've made your decision. Was it fun? I hope it was. It usually is pretty fun. Well, it's more or less relaxed. I'm nowhere near as fun in person as I am here. And then again, I'm not even funny here to begin with. But anyway, I hope you all have a good evening, morning, day, night, whatever it might be, wherever you might be. And I hope to see you all in the next video or on the Twitch. Goodbye.